Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ray Gonzalez. This is, I think, my 17th NAMI convention. It's always great to meet new people, to see the energy, to help people, and to help folks have hope. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been a psychiatric social worker for over 35 years. There is hope out there. New medications, new treatments like CET, new advocacy like you're doing, we'll be going tomorrow on Capitol Hill, to get people to change, to get the lawmakers and their staff to change, to think bigger and better for our loved ones. So we're going to get started on this. We just saw a video from our folks down in Bridgehaven, Kentucky, that they did. They've had a CT program now for almost 3 years, and are really getting some great results on this. And if you want to see this one and another longer version of this, if you Google CET Bridgehaven, you'll be able to find these videos and some other ones. Now this is an interactive presentation, so I will be asking questions. I ask you, if you want questions, to raise your hand. If you can wait to the very end, I really appreciate that, because I'll probably will cover those questions as we go along. We have a limited amount of time to do this, although I will be here Thursday and Friday. We have a booth, number 207. So you write that down and talk to myself and Kathy Riegel, our CEO from the Center for Cognition Recovery, 207. We'd be happy to talk to you in more detail about this. But the question is here. So true or false, cognitive problems are due to laziness and lack of effort? False. Cognitive problems will go away when symptoms like hallucinations go away? False. Cognitive problems are caused by medications? It could be true. Too little, too much, that's really an art we're trying to do. Cognitive problems are caused by being in the hospital or nursing home or at home too long. True, very often true. Because one of the keynotes of schizophrenia and major mental illnesses like bipolar disorder, depression, is people being isolated. And if you don't use it, you lose it. It's especially true with the brain. Okay. So CET is an active treatment. Before I found CET, I ran a really great agency called Plan in Northeast Ohio. All my staff were master's level social workers, 15 years of experience. We did lots of great things, everything you can think of. But we really weren't changing the course of illness. And CET is an active treatment program where this maintain people out of the hospital, keeping them safe and secure. CET really changes how people's brains, how the illness goes. So what we're trying to do is to increase the capacity to learn, to remember what they have learned, to act in real time versus a slowed down processing speed that a lot of our clients have, to improve the social cognition, their understanding how society functions and ability to function that, to act wisely in novel social and vocational situations. Like I've done, this is probably about my 80th talk. You're the best looking group of folks I've seen in the month of September. Most intelligent, responsive, etc. But the main thing is to have hope. People can and do recover. That's the norm. So CET is done first through doing some computer exercises. We do that for about an hour in a group setting, not isolated, not on Luminosity or one of the other ones you see there, but in a group setting with other clients and staff that are coaches. We have homework recording the social cognition groups. No one can hide. Everyone has to respond. There are activities we're going to be participating in. It's a weekly program. The social cognition exercises that the clients do in front of the rest of the group members, and this individual coaching once a week. So a little bit about who I am. I've been a social worker for a long time. I'm an optimist. I truly believe that people can and do recover from mental illness. And I'm a graduate of Ohio State School of Social Work before I became the Ohio State School of Social Work. Right. Gotta laugh, folks, with me. Okay. So when I started on these talks, I asked Anita, one of our graduates, what she thought about CET. And what she's really saying, although it improved her ability to work, what it really helped her to do is have better quality of life, to have more fun in life, which is what we really meant to do. Okay. This is a typical course of schizophrenia. These are a little roller coaster on the side there because it really represents how the illness goes up and down. And the best place to go to roller coaster riding, does anyone know? Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. So I get $5 every time I say that at a good talk like this. I want to tell you a little secret. In CET, we have a secret word that really helps people understand and learn and stuff. And it's spelled F-U-N. That's fun. You got to have fun. You can learn and have fun in doing that, and you will remember it better. So we basically work with folks who are in the adult range, in the orange range there, although we've had clients as old as 64 and as young as 14. And we're just starting a program next week in Cleveland with one of the agencies there for transitional age youth, 16 to 26-year-old, which to me is a real sweet spot for CET, to really help people learn how to function in society, in the workplace, and help them to recover, and not become lifelong mental patients. So CET focuses on the negative symptoms of schizophrenia. Yeah. The flattened affect, lack of motivation, the slowdown of thinking, the very concrete thinking, poor concentration, memory, all these things. I'm going through this, what normally it takes me about an hour and a half to 3 hours, and try and do this in about 45 minutes. So I've got a NAMI mom here from Louisville, Kentucky. Bridget Weatherby is going to talk about her experience and her son's experience with CET. So these slides will be up on the NAMI web, and you can always ask me for more information. So essentially, what is CET? We're trying to remediate the brain. It's for stable clients who kind of plateau, but not fully recover, kind of spinning their wheels. It's a combination of computer exercises, social cognition groups, and individual coaching. It uses a coaching methodology rather than a traditional psychotherapy methodology. I'll talk more about that later. It's given once a week for 48 weeks. So one day, Tuesday afternoon, from noon till 4 o'clock, approximately, for example. We have about 80 to 90% attendance and graduation rates. And people say, that's really unbelievable. I thought it was when I first started joining CET, but after 14 years, I tell you, it's real. This grabs people like nothing else I've seen. This is from Bill McFarland, who's a really great psychiatrist. And he's basically saying that in America, we're always looking for the silver bullet. If you got a headache, take a pill. If you're going bald like I am, you take a pill. If you got a mental illness, you take a pill. But you need something else beyond that. And CET is one of those things that helps with the medication, helps people to improve and function. So it was developed at the University of Pittsburgh by Jerry Hogarty and Sam Fletcher. They were funded by an NIH grant, very rigorous scientific methodology. It's been researched at additional sites through the University of Pittsburgh, and we're an evidence-based practice as recognized by Sept, which means that it's a real thing. It's been practiced at a number of different sites. It's in the literature. So when someone comes in to a program like CET, they have major impairments in cognition. Memory, these are standard deviations below the norm. The norm is 0. That's what folks who don't have mental illness are able to function at. But people with major mental illnesses have major impairments, up to 1.5 standard deviations. It's pretty significant. Memory, problem solving, they present IQ-wise if they have limited intelligence, but they don't. They might have been at a couple years of college, but they present as if they had some intellectual deficits, impaired attention, inability to take another person's perspective, and really unable to understand certain social cues of what you're supposed to do and not to do. In CET, when clients came in, again, I wish I didn't have my little pointer here, but at the bottom there is how clients came in at a 0.00. They then improve over the course of 12 to 24 months. We do it better now. It's not in an academic setting, it's in a real life setting, so we do it in about a year's time. We get people back up to what they should be functioning at. Time reverses what they were before. This is about 1 to 1.5 standard deviations below the norm. This is 1.5 deviations above where they came in, so they're back to a normal level of functioning. So improvement in overall neurocognitive functioning, increased processing speed. This is the mediating factor. So if you improve the ability to process, to understand what's going on, to pay attention, to do that, to be able to really get new information, to be able to work with other people. People don't say, there's Bill over there, he's really slowed down, I don't hang out with him. Bill's able to respond and talk about how great the Cleveland Indians are playing baseball now for a change. Anyway, improved cognitive style, social cognition, social adjustment, not a big change in symptoms, because these are folks who, in this study, were about 34, 35 years of age, have been ill for a number of years, 10 to 15 years. Now, CT in this study, the original study, was not done against this treatment as usual. It was done against enriched supportive therapy, which is a really good program that really worked with folks, helping them to understand the triggers that might affect them, to have them get to be re-hospitalized, to have them be stressed out for life. So I wasn't going to talk on CET, I might well be going to talk on PST, because it really is a good program. But it was quite impressive. Now, if this was a medication, most medications have an effect of about 0.2 to 0.4 above the standard deviation. So if this was a medication that you took, once or twice a day, Professor Hogarty and Dr. Fletcher would be multi-millionaires. But because it takes a year-long program, they weren't able to do that. So it's a long, hot work, but people do recover. People ask me, how long does it last? I've seen it last now in Cleveland 12 years after graduation. This study shows that at 3 years, the people, the processing level, this is the red line for CET, the yellow line was EST, major improvements in health study. And neurocognition, both of them improved. Shows that talking therapy does work. If you have a good structured program, people can improve. This is CT is much more effective than anything else I've seen. A CT is based on the whole concept of neuroplasticity. Who in the room has heard of neuroplasticity? All right. When I did these talks 3 years ago, even, I get 1 or 2 responses. Has anyone heard of CET before today? Okay, that's getting better. It used to be no one ever heard of CET. But we're getting out there. Once again, you're the brightest, most educated, good-looking folks I've seen. So what CET does is work on the concept of neuroplasticity, that we can reorganize ourselves, rework our brains. In fact, the brain is designed to do that way. There's over 100 billion neurons and 100 trillion synapses in the brain. So these things are there to be used, to be worked through. And we all know that we've had experiences. You all have experienced neuroplasticity in your lives. Right now you're experiencing it. You're learning something new. But you learn a new way how to drive to work, how to log on the computer. You know how to come now to this room versus another room. Okay, so everybody's learning and can learn. But if you don't use your brain, then you get very negative things. Now, this is a slide by Dr. Keshavan. He used to be at the University of Pittsburgh, but now he's at this place called Harvard, someplace in Massachusetts, whatever. And he's continuing to do research, and he lent me this slide. So neuroplasticity, I just thought was a very positive thing, but he said it's really a double-edged sword. If it's positive, it's adaptive, you learn new things, you can mature, you can improve, but it can also be negative. If you do things, if you socially isolate, if you believe in paranoid thinking, that sort of stuff, that then reinforces that sort of pathology and symptoms. So what we're trying to do is to try and improve cognitive functioning. So this slide shows 2 little boxes of rats, and A is 3 lab rats, and in B there are 7 that we can see, maybe some more. And A, there's, they're well fed and clean. And B, they've got a little bit bigger box, more people to interact with, more toys to play with. And after they went ahead and concluded the experiment and they dissected the brains, this is what the brains look like. Okay? So in A, not very much. How many synaptic connections? And B, much more synaptic connections. And this is, and A is more like for our loved ones who don't interact with other people, or some of our peers or coworkers. Some coworkers, they only think on one particular thing. They're not very interactive with other people, so they probably have this same sort of arrangement. But if you have more interactions, more stimulation, then you have much better synaptic connections. So what we're trying to do in CET is to foster higher thinking. And this slide is by permission of Sean Eek, who is doing the ongoing research at the University of Pittsburgh. So what we're trying to do is to have our clients become active, abstract thinkers. Okay? They're very gistful. Being gistful is, a great example of that is a movie review. So I could do 4 pages on King Kong, but if I say, Big Ape meets up young starlet, goes to New York City, and has a bad ending, that's a very gistful explanation of what King Kong is all about. So we want to have our clients be gistful, abstract thinkers, not concrete, to be active rather than passives, receivers of information, to be cognitively flexible, to think outside the box. Many of our clients are on automatic pilot. They do the same thing day after day. We're trying to get them to expand their boxes. We have open boxes, we think bigger. To be more spontaneous versus always rehearsed. Well, I have this problem, and in 2003, I solved it by doing this, so in 2014, I'll just do the same thing, that's going to solve it, right? Not so much. So being more of an initiator versus doing nothing. So a typical CT day is we do an hour's worth of computer exercises in a group setting. We take a break, and then we have an hour and a half to 2 hour long social cognition group. And they do some individual coaching. Excuse me. So we do computer work for an hour a day. We do it in pairs, but within a group setting. So what we're trying to do is have the pairs support each other, but also approximate a work situation. Dr. Flesher had a PhD in vocational counseling. So he worked with Jerry Hogarty, who had a master's degree in social work, was a full professor of psychiatry at the University of Pittsburgh. Very bright guy, great researcher. So the two of them got together and really got this whole active treatment program. And we continually upgrade the challenges we present to clients. We try to find the Goldilocks point, not too easy, not too hard, it's challenging enough to keep them involved in doing that. And the clients see their own improvement. They knew they beat the computer. I didn't say, great job there, Bill, or George, or Mary. You did a good job of that. They do it on their own. So what we're trying to do is first to focus on attention and memory. So what we've done here first is we've established Sept, that you all are paying attention to me. As far as I can tell, I don't see too many people out there working your BlackBerrys, your cell phones and stuff, actually paying attention. You're being able to maintain this for about half an hour already, and able to shift from listening to me to looking to the slides. So always good. Then once we do that, using the computer exercises, we then go on to additional computer exercises that focus on memory. So I'm going to ask you a question. And folks from Illinois can't answer this one, but what's the capital of Illinois? Springfield. Right? I told you guys to break it, folks here. So Springfield. When you said that, other people say, oh yeah, Springfield. You kind of recall that, you understand that, you recognize that. There's also procedural memory. Okay? So that's on how do you ride a bicycle, how do you make your favorite recipe, how do you log on to the computer, etc. Okay? So what we want to do really is to focus on working memory. So if my colleague Kathy here is working for me at Staples, and she is, as a transitional employee, she has some difficulties, but the agency says she's pretty good. She's a nice person, to give her a chance. So if I'm the supervisor and I say, okay, Kathy, I want you to go back there in the storeroom at Staples and bring me 3 boxes of cell phones. Give me the yellow Apple ones, the Samsung that are purple, and the Verizon ones that are green. And bring those 3 up and put it in my supervisor's boss, Bridget's office. And don't put them in the green filing cabinet or the gray one. Put them in the blue filing cabinet in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th drawers. That's working memory. Try to remember what's going on, what your job and task is. And so what we're able to do is improve our clients' working memory, both through the computer exercises and doing some of the social cognition work. They're able to do that and understand they can do that. And then we'll work on problem solving or executive functions. Okay. So what we do here is we try to do things in a coaching methodology so that we really work to help people by giving them support, but we also challenge them. That we're saying that they need to be doing something different, something better, faster at doing that. So we will challenge them to do more. If someone makes a mistake, not a big